As of this month, my online store has officially been up and open for 6 whole months, which is honestly pretty insane. I've wanted to do this little kind of series detailing my experiences and processes that I've gone through in running a small business online, and the 6-month mark seems like a really good time to do so. I felt like that was a good amount of time to kind of get my bearings and understand how running my online store went, so I want to share all this information with you guys. And I know that I'm going to have way too much information to squeeze into just one video, so I assume that this small series will be split up into at least 3 or so separate videos, but I especially wanted to start off talking about pretty much everything associated with the actual online store portion of things. Finding a platform to host an online store was probably the thing that caused me the most stress when I was just starting to get together my online business, just because there's just so many different platforms to choose from and they're all pretty different in how they work. I kind of gently bounced back and forth between Etsy, Shopify, Squarespace, and Big Cartel, but at the end of things, I was very torn between either Etsy or Big Cartel. Etsy is probably one of the first things that comes to mind when you think about selling your art online, and while it may not be the best platform for everyone, I think it's a really good place to start with. Etsy's interface is super easy. All you have to do is plug in information and Etsy pretty much does everything for you, even when it comes to shipping, which is so nice. One of the biggest features that Etsy has that is beneficial in my eyes is that they completely calculate shipping for you. You're able to input the weight of individual items, set a specific add-on price amount to cover whatever shipping supplies you use, and then Etsy will calculate the shipping fee to the customer's location based off of the entire order's weight. So pretty much all you have to do is put in how much something weighs, how much it costs for your shipping supplies, and Etsy does like all the work for you. This feature was super enticing to me because shipping is stressful and it really takes a lot of weight off your shoulders to not have to worry about it, especially when it comes to calculating international shipping costs. I have heard from a couple of people that they had weird things happen with this where it like undercharged and they ended up paying for shipping. I really don't know how common this is of a thing that exists because out of like everyone I have seen use Etsy, I've only heard about this once or twice, but from what I've heard, it's a very good system. Shipping was something that was immensely intimidating to me though, specifically because prior to having my online store, I probably had shipped out only around a dozen packages, like at all, and none of them had been international ones. And also, VAT is something that's very important to take into consideration when it comes to shipping internationally. I'm not even going to try to explain it in detail since I'd probably butcher it, but it's a tax that a business owner has to pay to each individual European country if you ship there, and it's a big deterrent for a lot of small businesses to ship to European countries. I've heard a little bit of back and forth when it comes to Etsy. Initially, I heard that Etsy would 100% deal with VAT for sellers, and you wouldn't have to worry about it at all if you were selling off of Etsy. And then more recently, I saw on someone's Instagram story that that was not true anymore. So I'm not sure if Etsy is still handling VAT, or if they ever did. I have no idea, but I know this was also a really big selling point for some people, so that's why I wanted to mention it. Etsy's other big selling point for creators with a small audience is that they have their marketplace, which makes it really easy for people who don't even know of your work to find it and buy your products, and that's really nice for smaller creators. Big Cartel, on the other hand, which is the platform I ended up choosing for my own online store, works a lot differently. For shipping, on one hand, you pretty much have to individually dictate a shipping cost for every country individually, which is really intimidating at first, especially to me because international shipping is scary. There are resources online that break down USPS shipping costs into US zone regions, as well as various international shipping costs, and that definitely helps, but it can really be a hassle to set this up manually. Big Cartel also allows you to calculate shipping in one of 2 ways. They have shipping profiles where you pretty much set up a flat rate cost for your shipping. You're able to dictate which country or countries are set up per shipping profile. So right now I have one to the US, one to Canada, and one to Mexico. And you're also able to dictate shipping prices of the first item plus the shipping fees for each additional item. So you can say like, my initial shipping cost is $4. For every additional item, they have to pay 25 cents, stuff like that. For my own shop, I just use the flat rate option that doesn't go up if you buy multiple items, since most of what's in my shop are stickers and prints, and it doesn't end up costing me more per product to ship. And especially with stickers and stuff, I don't want to have someone buying 20 stickers and them paying an insane amount in shipping because they're paying additional shipping per product, when in reality, like for me, that's not going to raise the cost it takes for me to ship it at all, because it doesn't really weigh anything extra. Big Cartel also does have the option to use specific product shipping profiles. So like if you're a sticker shop and suddenly start selling clay trinket dishes, you're able to specifically raise the shipping price for certain products, which is nice in case you have either heavier individual things or larger individual things and they cost more to ship. I know Big Cartel also has a shipping option where you can like manually go into individual products and set shipping costs there. I really don't know much about it because I personally have only used the shipping profiles since I started with Big Cartel, but I do know that that option is out there. Big Cartel is also immensely more customizable than Etsy. They have website templates that you're able to customize, honestly, a fair amount, and there's also the option of adding your own coding for further customization if you're interested. This is really nice in making your shop look like its own individual thing versus just another Etsy storefront, and it's also really fun to play with. It just looks a lot more professional than Etsy because Etsy does not let you customize anything, like at all. On the other hand though, I know some people would rather shop on Etsy since they consider it to be a more trustworthy store than a separate website. But the biggest reason why I ended up choosing Big Cartel though is the fees that are involved. Big Cartel doesn't have any individual sale fees, which is very uncommon in a lot of the places I ended up looking at. Some places have individual fees for products, like individual sale fees, or they'll have a monthly fee plus a sale fee, but instead Big Cartel operates on a monthly fee based off of what plan you're using. Their current plans are a free plan, a $10 a month plan, and a $20 a month plan, and I started off with the $10 plan, but pretty much I would say with my first shop update, I think it was, I had to switch over to the $20 a month plan because I exceeded the amount of listings you're able to have. The $10 a month only allows you to have 50 listings, and I made a ton of Demon Slayer stickers, and I had to switch over, which is fine because $20 a month isn't too bad. Etsy, on the other hand, though, charges fees per sale. Etsy fees are 20 cents per individual item, so if you're getting like someone buys 5 stickers, you have to pay 20 cents 5 times over, plus 5% of the actual product, plus 5% of the shipping cost. This isn't the worst when it comes to being on a small scale, but I knew over time that this would end up taking a really big cut of my sales. PayPal and Stripe, which are money processing platforms, also charge their own individual fees on top of this. PayPal right now just raised their fees to 3.49% plus 49 cents, and Stripe charges 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. But any platform you choose will have these fees. It's not specific to Etsy, it's not specific to Big Cartel. It's if you're using PayPal or Stripe to process your payments, these are the fees that you're paying. I do intend on making a video in this series specifically on my earnings and expenses and all of that, but I think it's very interesting to compare what I've spent on Big Cartel fees versus what I would have spent on Etsy fees had I chosen that as a platform, because before now I've never calculated this, I just figured Etsy would be more. But as of September 23rd, my online store has taken in $3,344.45, which includes people having paid shipping fees, so this is not profit or anything. But for the 6 months I've had my shop running, I have paid exactly $100 on Big Cartel fees. I think it's going to be like 6 cents less because their payment plans are technically like $9.99 and $19.99. But I did 2 months of the $10 plan and then I did 4 months of the $20 plan. So I've spent $100 on Big Cartel fees. And had I been selling on Etsy, I would have paid $294.42. So an extra $194, which is a lot of money, and that's just over the course of 6 months. So especially people who have an even larger audience than me and who are raking in more sales than me are paying even more as opposed to what they could be paying had they been using something like Big Cartel that's not so individual product fee intensive as Etsy is. And by no means is this to say that Etsy's a bad platform. I think Etsy is a perfect platform for anyone to start off on if they don't have any kind of large audience or social media platform, because all of my traffic on my own store is 100% generated through my own advertisement on social media, which not everyone is able to have. Like, Big Cartel doesn't have the option of a marketplace where someone can just go to bigcartel.com and search fruits basket stickers like Etsy can. You have to go to that person's individual shop. You have to know of the shop to actually be able to see the products and buy the products and stuff like that. Versus on Etsy, I can just search fruits basket stickers and find a bunch of different artists who make them. But if you're only selling like 1 or 2 stickers a month, Big Cartel is a horrible choice since you're paying a monthly fee. And also something that's weird about Big Cartel, I guess, it makes sense, but you can't pause your shop and stop paying the fee. So if I go on vacation for like 2 months and I put my store on maintenance mode, which I can do, and that way no one can actually buy stuff because it'll essentially be like a hold on my store. You can't see the products, you can't shop the products. It just says, hey, like, we're busy, we'll be coming back soon, or whatever the message is, but like, I'm still paying the fee. So if something happens and I don't have my online store up and running for 6 months, I'm still paying for that 6 months of having my online store, which kind of makes sense. It's just like, oh dang, if I want to, like, if something happens and I can't run my online store, I'm still paying for it. Another important thing to note is that a lot of e-commerce platforms either give you a free trial or a free version. Big Cartel has a free plan, for example. It's not super intensive, you can't do any kind of inventory tracking, and you can only list 5 products, but it's really nice because you can still play around with designing your site and adding a few products to it. I know Squarespace has a free trial available, which is also nice because you get a feel of how the platform works. Etsy will let you customize up until you actually create a public listing, I believe, so it's nice to be able to play around with those. I also highly recommend checking out some artists that you like and seeing what platforms they use. A lot of times, if they're using an e-commerce platform, the bottom of their site will say something like powered by Squarespace, or mine, for example, has a Big Cartel logo. So it's just kind of a good idea to look around and see what other people are using and what you like, what you enjoy, like what looks more professional, what you look for in an actual online store, stuff like that. Choosing a platform was genuinely so stressful to me, but thankfully there's a lot of info out there to help you make a decision. As far as putting my website together goes, Big Cartel made it super duper easy to pretty much do everything. Thankfully, I have not had any kind of bumps along the way when it comes to sales or my website or anything like that, but I do have a couple of irks with Big Cartel, all of which are pretty small, but my biggest gripe is that their discount options are kind of limited. First of all, they don't allow you to do a sale without using a coupon code. So like, I'm doing a 20% off sale right now. In theory, I would like to just have it a site-wide sale where you don't have to use a coupon code, but I cannot do that. You also can't do anything like buy X amount, get X free sale, and that's kind of annoying because I would like to do something like buy 4, get the 5th free for stickers as like a continuous promotion thing, but Big Cartel does not allow you to do that kind of sale. You also cannot pick certain categories or products to disclude from a sale. So like right now, like I said, I have a 20% off sale in my store, and I can't disclude the originals category from that, which isn't the end of the world, but I wish their discount section was a bit broader because there are certain things that you would expect to be able to do and you cannot. A couple of other things that I found to dislike is that their checkout interface is kind of weird. It's a little ugly and it's very strange. It works, but it's weird. And also, another very small thing is if you put a specific item on sale, it doesn't state the original price, but only the sale price, which I find very weird. Like if I have a print for like $10 and I put it on sale for $8, it just tells you it's on sale and it's $8. It doesn't tell you it was $10. They're all small gripes, but definitely worth mentioning. Shipping through Big Cartel is insanely easy though. I talked about the shipping platforms and stuff before, but actually for purchasing and printing labels, I use Pirate Ship to buy my shipping labels, and they have Big Cartel integration, so literally all I have to do in buying labels is open up Pirate Ship, click import from Big Cartel, and then it pulls up all my unshipped orders, applies my shipping profiles to them, and lets me print labels. It's so insanely easy. I can buy them in huge batches, so I can be purchasing 20 labels at a time, and it works so nice. And Pirate Ship is free, and they're cheaper labels than actually going to USPS to purchase them, like at the post office. It's great. It's fantastic. And then when you're signed into your Big Cartel account, there's a tab called Orders, which separates orders into unshipped and shipped. So normally I go through and package everything start to finish in the unshipped category, and then I print all of my labels, because once you purchase the shipping labels on Pirate Ship, it automatically communicates that to Big Cartel, and all of those orders are moved to the shipped category. So I don't have to manually go in on my Big Cartel account and say, hey, I've shipped all of these orders, because as soon as I print the shipping labels, they're marked on their own as shipped, which is so nice. Making listings is also another super easy thing. I take all of my photos on my Canon EOS M50, since it takes photos a lot truer to life compared to my phone, and then I do very minimal editing on Photoshop. I normally just raise the brightness, sometimes I play with color balance, and then I adjust the levels a little bit so it looks nicer, and then I just slap them onto my listings. Big Cartel's interface for actually putting together listings is super simple, super easy to follow. It is fantastic. And then on the store owner side of thing, Big Cartel's interface is really nice, because they're able to break down your earnings into last 7 days, the months, all time, stuff like that. Shows you how many visitors have come to your shop, the conversion rate, meaning how many people who visited your online store actually purchased things, how much money you're making, how much of each individual product you sold, and how much money it's generated. All that kind of stuff is available through Big Cartel, as I'm sure it is on other platforms. I just really haven't dived much into anything else. I started building an Etsy, I also started building a Squarespace on a free trial, and then I just settled with Big Cartel, and I am super happy with having my store on Big Cartel. As far as the actual like online store portion of things and choosing a platform goes, I'm pretty sure that's all the information I wanted to share. I know this video has been like super densely packed information heavy, which is something that I don't normally do, but this has been like a little low-key passion project of mine, because I think it's so important to share these things and talk about these experiences to hopefully help you guys if you ever want to do something like make an online store, because I personally was so stressed out, especially when it came to choosing a platform. That was the thing that absolutely just like sent me over the edge. I genuinely had a meltdown over choosing Etsy or choosing Big Cartel. Like, I had a meltdown. It was really cute. So I hope that this was informative and helpful. I do want to do more videos in this series, like I said before. I especially want to do one talking about expenses and earnings, because I personally think that talking about money is not taboo. Like, I don't mind sharing how much money I've made in my online store at all, or how much money it costs me, or how much, like, what I'm charging for my products versus what I pay for my products. I think that's something that's very nice to talk about and like share with other artists, because we're all just doing our best out here, and sometimes it's really hard to like figure out what to do. So people talking about these things helps other people. So if I have anything else to say on this topic, because quite frankly, I'm a very disorganized person, and while I did write a script and I did bullet points and I planned out this video, I only did it over the course of like an hour. So I'm sure there's topics or just little things that I forgot to talk about. And if I have any other thoughts on the subject, I will leave them in the comments below. I'll leave a pinned comment with any other thing I have to share with you guys. And then on top of that, if you have any questions about this subject at all, feel free to leave them below, because if you have a question, I'm sure that many others have the same exact question, and I'm more than happy to answer them for you guys. But if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for listening to this information dump and my experience dump. I don't know if I'll be doing these videos back to back or if I'll spread them out, but I'm very excited to make the next ones in this series, because I think, like I said, I think this is something that's really important to share and very beneficial to share. So if you've made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.